just dropped a bunch of yarn. Well, Harper's probably going to come and steal that. We'll see. Hello, I am going to be stitching on the paw prints onto these gloves. These are to go with this hat. And you may be thinking, well, what color paws am I going to use for the gloves? And I'm going to use bubblegum pink. And the hat is also going to have a bubblegum bow, so the bow and the paw prints are going to match. So this is going to be a super cute set. I need to make the bow too, but let's get these paws stitched on first. Oh, my headphone's connected to my iPad, so now my iPad's not playing my music. Okay, got that fixed. I should probably message my mom and tell her that I'm live because she never gets notified because TikTok's really bad about that. And I know she likes watching my lives. I just texted her the word live, which is kind of funny because the word live is obviously also the word live. So it's like kind of ominous, just like live. She'll probably know what I mean. Harper's over in the bathroom drinking some water. We love a hydrating queen, just like me. I wasn't really planning on going live at all, but I've been not really super motivated to make anything, and I figured I only have to stitch on these paws and make a bow to feel a lot better about everything, and so I figured I'll just come live to hold myself accountable for actually making stuff. Hi, Mom! She must have gotten my text. Harper, you gonna come say hi? You never used to like coming saying hi to the live, but ever since I started vlogging on YouTube, you always come say hi to the vlog. I know this. Does the music scare you? Maybe that's what it is. I always play music when I'm live, but I don't have the music playing when I talk to my phone when I'm vlogging, so. Cat. I'll move that so that if she decides to actually lay down. I am stitching on the paw prints to a pair of pastel gloves that are going to go with this hat. And then this hat is also going to have a bow in the same color as the paw prints. So altogether it's going to be a really cute little set. I need my big check back. I'm glad she's been hanging out there when I'm live. Nice little Harper cam. Cute, thank you. Yeah, this is a custom order for someone that wanted something very pastel. And it's hard to do things like 100% pastel because the paw prints need a little bit of contrast to look good. If I would have done like this butter yellow on the toe bean pink paws, you wouldn't have really been able to see the toe beans quite as much. But toe bean pink and bubblegum pair really well, and the bubblegum just being the accent on the paw prints and the bow, I think are going to be a perfect happy medium between pastel and actually having enough contrast to look cute. Yeah, I experimented with a few different color combo options with this one, and me and the customer came to a happy little decision together. Which that's the most fun part about doing custom orders is like they have a vague idea. Ooh, oh, there's a thing. Thank you so much for the heart. I appreciate that. But yeah, the customer will have a vague idea, and then I have my ideas, and then we kind of like workshop it together for something that I think will look good and that they will be happy with. After this set, I'm gonna be making a cat hat and glove set inspired by the Pokemon Cacturn. So that's pretty exciting too. It's gonna be green. Pistachio green with some grass green and black accents. Thank you so much. Them's the beans. Do I make knitted toys as well? I do not. My mom does make our little crochet plushies though. This guy's stabbed with a million things, but this is an example. This is my little Duolingo owl that she made me. He's got some of my test pricing labels, and then this is like a little flamingo stick from like a drink from like a friend's party, and then he's just like propped up on some knitting needles because I keep him in my little pen cup. My scissors are right in front of me. So cute. Thank you so much. Oh, just smacked my water bottle. Is she back there? She's not even... Oh, she's on the bed. I guess I can point this back over here. A little bit. How did I have this? There we go. Thank you so much for all the likes on the live. That's much appreciated. My TikTok has honestly been like my most like stagnant platform lately, which is kind of funny. But it's still my favorite place to go live, so I'm not giving up on TikTok anytime soon. It's also just my favorite place to like record my shorts. Like all the shorts that I re-upload onto like Facebook and stuff. I always record it right in TikTok. The cat is plotting, such a mischievous little bean. Yeah. definitely. She decided to be good and take a bath on the bed, though, instead of steal yarn tonight, at least. I want to get the set done, ideally tonight, because I want to get it packaged and shipped out, and also I need to package and ship out the giveaway prize. In case you missed it, I did a giveaway for a rainbow and black chonky cat ear beanie, and so I've got the winner for that, and I want to get their prize shipped out sooner rather than later. But whenever possible, I like to be able to package up and ship out more than one thing at a time. For some reason, it just feels better. And I think it's faster to do two things at the same time than to just package two things up separately. Less, like, mentally task switching that way. So if I'm able to combine, like, ready-to-ship items with custom orders, I try to do that. Although I had a ready-to-ship item that I got packaged up this weekend because I didn't want to wait until the set was done to send that out, because I think I say, like, 3 to 5 business days on the ready-to-ship items, but ideally it'd be on the shorter end of that if I'm able to swing it. See, doing this while live really does feel faster. Sometimes making things live feels slower because I get distracted by talking a lot. I think that happens more so with knitting. When I'm doing, like, some of, like, the finishing tasks, like tying in ends or stitching on paws, I think it's better when I'm live because I'm more just on autopilot. Apparently not enough autopilot because I messed up. Alright, we're good now. I think it's because I don't enjoy, like, stitching on paws quite as much as I enjoy just knitting. And so when I'm talking and stuff, I don't have to pay attention to it. I couldn't imagine you get so distracted while trying to watch things while knitting. I've got one of those brains where I need 20 tabs, both monitors going, music in my ears while I'm knitting to even be able to focus on any one thing, generally. Look at how cute that is. I love Taubean Pink and Bubblegum together, and then I also love Bubblegum and Taubean Pink with Butter Yellow. Butter Yellow is just such a good color. It's another one that got discontinued, but there is another yarn that I really like that has a color that's basically the same, so I'm less worried about this one. Finding a match for my Galaxy Purple has been much more difficult, but finding a match for this light yellow isn't quite as bad, so that's good at least, because I could not live without Butter Yellow. That's so cute, thank you. I'm trying to be better about reading the comments out loud. Because I've been re-uploading my TikToks onto my YouTube channel. And I feel like it's gonna be more interesting to watch if you actually can know what I'm responding to. Thankfully, most of the time I'm just rambling to myself. So I think in that regard, I think they're kind of interesting to rewatch. Right now I've got a pretty good mix of responding to a few comments here and there, but I'm good at rambling, I guess. I think my first TikTok live re-upload has like 36 views, which honestly, better than I expected, so. I've been trying not to put too much actual making content in my studio vlogs. Just because I feel like that can kind of get a little bit boring when you're watching like a 20-minute video, but half of it's just you watching me knit. And I feel like I have other things that I can talk about and do to keep those interesting. And so I think having the TikTok live re-uploads where I actually am, you can actually kind of like watch me work in real time, is like a nice like compliment to that maybe. I'm just trying to justify easy content, honestly. I think my TikTok lives are good though. I feel like there's been times where it's like, man, we had some really good talks on TikTok live, and then it's like, I'm really glad those 4 people got to enjoy that. And I really appreciate those 4 people that got to enjoy that, but also I feel like it would be kind of good to have it on a platform to be able to be rewatched, you know? Thank you, Mom, for tapping the screen a bunch. Oh, and she even shared it. Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. Makes sense. I came in and you mentioned going live other places. Where else? I don't go live anywhere else. I've tried. Like, I've tested on every other platform. Like Facebook, Instagram. I like TikTok the best for going live from my phone. I don't know if you've ever done it, but like you can swipe to the side and it makes the chat basically like cover the entire screen, but I can still see like myself in frame, like in the background. And so it's really good to like make sure that, like I'm showing things off like in the center of the screen, but it's also big enough that I can see it because my phone's like 3 feet away from my face. So honestly, the UI I just find the best on TikTok. You love my hat, thank you. This is made with my own hand spun yarn. I need to get back into spinning. I'm honestly, why is this so loud? I kind of want to get an e-spinner. I said that if I was going to upgrade from drop spindles, that I was going to get like a double treadle wheel. But at this point, I kind of just want to make yarn. And I feel like an e-spinner might be the best option, which I'm glad I've given myself time to think about it. Because when I first got, like, really into spinning, I was like, yeah, I need a wheel. But now that I've, like, had some time away from it, I think I would enjoy an e-spinner more. Just because it's cheaper. Way cheaper. And my mom can 3D print me all the bobbins that I need. If any of the parts break, she can, like, 3D print me the parts because the brand of e-spinner that I'm looking at getting, like, they share their own print files for all that, which I think is super cool. So I feel like that's the right option, and then I can just like put it on my desk and like spin some yarn. Cause I've been saving so many have so many scraps that I need. This is like nothing that I need to tear up and make into fluff to spin up. And the reason I'm not spinning is because it's just, it's slow. It's enjoyable with the little 3D printed Turkish spindles that my mom's printed me, but it's like not good for making like a lot of yarn. And I think the problem that I was running into, I need to make sure I'm still working while I'm chatting. I think the problem that I was running into with spinning is that I would make, here, let me pull some things out. I just said I was gonna keep working and now I'm like, nah. I keep making like little things and like, this is beautiful, this is great, I love this. I made this entirely with acrylic yarn scraps and it's yarn. But what am I gonna do with this? This is nothing. I can't make a hat with this. This is like 2 rows of knitting worth of yarn. And I've got a lot of it and like I could combine these, but then it's not gonna be super cute. And I don't know, I was trying to, let me see if I can find it in my drawer of mess. Look, this is all scraps that I've already unplied to turn into fluff. And then I'm going to show you my fluffs. So I've been trying to do my fluffs more like color coordinated. Like these are all like in the same color family, sort of. And so I need to spin all of this together. And if I do this on a drop spindle, this would take me like over a week just to spin this much. And this would do like 5 or 6 rows of a hat. And so I think I have enough stuff and am able to produce enough spinnable fluff that the roadblock is turning the fluff into the yarn. Oh, my whole thing's falling because it's heavy. So I think I need a way to spin faster. And I could get a wheel, but I think I could start spinning faster sooner if I just get a little e-spinner. And also it kind of seems fun. And it'd be small. And I could always get a wheel later. Getting an e-spinner wouldn't like mean that I could never get a wheel if I wanted a wheel. Anyway, that's my yarn spinning tangent. Because I love being able to reuse my scraps into something. And like this hat's amazing. This one's only half scraps. If you know how yarn works, and I can kind of explain it. So this is a piece of yarn. And if you untwist it, this is a 3-ply yarn. So that's 1 ply, that's 2 ply, and then that's the 3-ply. So this hat uses a 2-ply yarn that I made. So just 2 of these. One of the plies is made entirely out of my acrylic yarn scraps, like the fluff that I was just showing off. And then the other ply is made out of a couple different wools, like a black and a white wool. So the colorful stuff is all the acrylic scrap stuff, and then the other ply is a black and a white wool that I got to like practice spinning with, because spinning with acrylic fluff is like not really ideal. You can do it, but it's not ideal. And so the black and white I got to like just experiment with. So one of the plies is the black and white mixed together, and then the other ply is all of the colorful acrylic fluff. So that's what this hat is. And I would never sell anything hand spun related, because I mean I need a hobby, but also just the time that it takes is just I can't justify it. 1, 2, 3, 4. But honestly, if I get to the point where I'm using my acrylic scraps and I can make them into yarn at a fast enough pace and then knit them into things at a fast enough pace, I think doing a hand spun cat beanie giveaway made out of entirely acrylic yarn scraps would be like super cool. Because it's like one of those things where it's like, if I was to try to sell this to you, it would be a ridiculous amount of money. Like, if it takes me a week to make the yarn that's in a hat, like, that'd be like a $400, $500, $600 hat. But, like, giving it away. I would give it away. You know? Never thought of using scraps that way. Yeah, I really, that's the, like, most exciting part. Like, sure, I could spin nice stuff, and I have gotten some fibers specifically made to be spun. I started making some yarn for a hat for my mom, and then I was really happy with it and proud of it, and then it was not enough yarn for a hat, so it's like, I gotta spin more yarn before I can make this hat, and then I never did. I was telling myself, I'll stuff things, but I don't even want to make stuffies. Yeah. And that's the thing, we don't use them for stuffing the plushies, really, because we're selling the stuffed animals, the polyfill just makes them feel so much nicer. And, like, if it's a gift or something, like, it's fine, but, like, I'm selling a product, and I want it to be of a good quality, and something about stuffing something full of polyfill just makes it better quality. But that's also all the more reason I want to be able to actually use the scraps and make something new with them, especially with them being acrylic and just like plastic. I love to reuse when I possibly can. It's not feasible to take every single good for the environment steps that I can, but when I am able to, I will. There was like one Facebook comment that I got one time that's like, oh, you should be using recyclable mailers instead of the plastic bubble mailers. And it's like, I definitely could. But there's also so many other things to consider besides just the environment. Because, okay, you want me to use recyclable mailers? Like, are you going to pay the extra shipping it costs for me to buy that? Are you going to pay, and if I want them branded, which is an important part of my business, to make people actually want to buy from me, like, are you going to pay the extra cost that it takes for branding? So it's a balance. You can't be perfect about everything. And also, why is it my job to use paper mailers when everyone else, like I'm just one little person. I do what I can, but I'm not exactly the person that I think needs to make big changes in my life to fix the environment. That's not something that I can do as an individual. I try where I can. But there's a lot more to take into consideration than just one thing. And besides, I definitely produce more plastic in my yarn scraps than I do in my poly mailers. Like, for sure. I have definitely more mass of plastic in my yarn scraps than my poly mailers. And I'm going to be using those yarn scraps to make new yarn and make hats with them that will be able to be used and loved. I'd love to package more things in boxes that are recyclable instead of the bubble mailers, but boxes are expensive and they don't fit in my mailbox. Like, if I use boxes for my hats and gloves, it wouldn't fit in my mailbox. And so then I'd have to put in, like, pickup requests, like, every time I ship something. So much more expensive to ship them, yeah, agree. It definitely should be more accessible, yeah. Yeah, it's just hard. Nobody can make 100% the best decisions all the time, so. If I wanted to reduce the best way for me to produce my my plastic usage and consumption would be to only sell hats made out of like wool and stuff for like double, triple the price. But if I did that, I wouldn't be making as many things and selling stuff, and then there'd be less happy people. I'd have less happy customers. I don't know. You can't win, but it's one of those things where it's like, I'm just one little person, and there's giant companies that are doing a lot that have the means to be making those changes. Spent $50 on a blanket, just polyester, but your fam better not be upset. Yeah. It's still money and effort and so cute. Good. Well, I mean, people always talk about like polyester clothes like don't last as long as like higher quality fabrics and stuff, and like sure, I guess my wardrobe, like I have so many clothes that are just so old though that it's like I don't know, that they last a long time. Look at these paws. I need to tie in all these. Deal with this. But yeah, environmental stuff's a big conversation, and I also don't feel like I know a lot. But I do know that if I'm able to do something, I try to, generally, if it's the best decision for me. That's the thing, natural fibers, like, they do, like, it would be much easier to ruin. Like, if I made wool hats, and I made acrylic hats, I do make acrylic hats and wool hats, but the wool hats are going to be a lot easier to ruin than the acrylic ones. It biodegrades faster, is my understanding. Again, I'm not super educated on this, so I'm not an expert. I do know that if I make something out of acrylic yarn into something that someone wears, then it's getting more use than it would have if it was not made into something and being used. I don't know. That makes sense, right? Also, are we going to talk about, if we're going to talk about the environment, are we going to talk about how, on taxes, I am rewarded for throwing away my plastic yarn more than I am to donate it or sell it? That sounds like a problem. And I disagree with that. Tax policies and stuff, I did learn in college. Tax policies can make a really big impact. Like, things like the child care credit and stuff can impact birth rates. And so, there's definitely a lot of changes that could be made there. Because, like I said, there's more financial benefit to me throwing away yarn than there is to sell it or donate it. So, The more I learn about taxes, the more I hate them. Anyway, this is a really long tangent of just, this is why I want an e-spinner, so that I can recycle all my little bits. And turn it into something I will use, someone I know and love will use, or something that I can give away. I don't know. It also kind of goes into, like, I mean, I shop from Amazon a lot. Like, who doesn't? It's accessible. It's convenient. But, like, when you buy something from Amazon, where does that money go? It goes to someone that, I don't know, buys private jets. But if you buy something from me, even though I'm also, like, using plastic and stuff, I'm gonna go buy it and spend it at my local mom and pop run restaurant. So that's, like, one of the biggest benefits of shopping from small businesses, is it stays in the community more. Like, especially when I'm in an artist alley, if you give me money in an artist alley, guess what? I'm gonna go spend it at my neighbor, who's another small business, who's gonna go home to their local restaurant and buy something. Actually kind of angry now about that. Wonder if that was made to benefit fast fashion. I think that's been a thing for a long time. I don't know. I don't really know much about why the laws are the way they are. I just learned it when I was figuring out how the cost of goods sold works on the Schedule C, and it's stupid. Have a bunch of scraps for you too? Yay. Yeah, my mom collects and saves all her scraps for me too, so that I can spin them into new stuff. Can't get a 15-foot dog leash in my local pet store? Yeah. Okay, I need to make a bow. Hard to be responsible, yeah. And that's the thing, you can't beat yourself up. Nobody can make 100% the best decisions all the time. What am I looking for? Needles, knitting needle. The correct knitting needle, okay. And I mean, I could not afford to buy my own products, so I definitely understand that. And I don't think people have to buy my stuff. That's another thing. People are like, why are you charging $50 for cat beanies when people can't afford their groceries? And it's like, please buy your groceries. Do not buy from me if you are struggling to buy your groceries. I literally had someone in person at my booth be like, oh, these are so cute, but I should probably make sure I can afford my rent. I'm like, please, don't buy anything from me. Go pay your rent. I kind of don't want to be knitting right now. I'm gonna finish this bow, but... You know, it kind of makes sense though. I had just gone through a phase of doing a lot of knitting. My last YouTube studio vlog, I like put in the thumbnail, is it possible to knit too much? Because I made a lot of things in that video, and that was like a week or so ago, I think. I had like 2 days that I made 2 chunky beanies within like a 3-hour time frame, and I did that like twice. So I did a lot of knitting, and I'm in my not wanting to knit phase. All weekend I was working a lot on my website, and I'm having to switch my email newsletter provider platform thing. And so I've been in more of a like computer work, marketing, branding mindset, which I definitely go through phases of what parts of my business I find interesting. And honestly, just right now, it's like, it's not the actual product making. Which I'm glad I'm like this, because if I only liked making things, it would be very hard to actually run a business. Because a business really is so much more than just making things. And so I'm glad I like the other parts. But when I have custom orders that I need to work on, it's like, Like, I don't hate it. Like, I'm not miserable. But that's also why I'm live, so that I can actually hold myself accountable to making this. Because I do want to get this done. But also, if I wasn't here, I would not be knitting. I'm very much a phase sort of person. Which has its pros and its cons. Especially with like video games. Like, I'll go real hard on one video game for a bit and then just forget it exists and not touch it for a year. Me too. Yeah, wow, Mom. I wonder if there's a reason that we're similar like that. Same, glad I'm not the only one. I am glad that you're, it's not just me. My mom and I are very much alike like that, though. But that's the best part of having a business, is that I can switch my focus and feel like I'm doing something entirely differently while still be doing something that benefits my business, so. But to a certain degree, there has to be a bit of balance. I am glad my custom order timeline is like 3 to 5 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks. I don't know what my custom order timeline is. I have to go to my website and check whenever to figure it out. I think it's because I changed it. I don't know if it used to be 2 to 4 or 3 to 4, but then I changed it when I had one video like pop off or something. And I made it longer. And I don't know what it is anymore. I know my ready to ship is 3 to 5 business days, which is nice because that way I can completely ignore it over a weekend. And then I work my part-time job on Mondays and Tuesdays, and so sometimes I don't feel like doing stuff on those days. So, and also Fridays. So like if I get an order on Thursday for something that's ready to ship, it's okay if I wait like an entire week before I actually get around to packaging it. So I'm happy about that. I always finish my custom orders like way early. Like, when's this one from? I'm like also so bad at knowing how much time has passed. Like, if I had to guess, this custom order was probably from like 2 weeks ago. But I'm gonna look and it's gonna be like, oh, it was 3 days ago or something. And I'll just like not know how the passage of time works. Set to 3 to 4 weeks? Is it? I mean, I trust you. But I also don't, because I need to look for myself. That's maybe right. Is the 5 only in my 3 to 5 days? It is 3 to 4 weeks. Wow. That's good. Oh, I was gonna look at when this order was from. The 14th. How long ago was that? Because that was more than a week ago. A week and 2 days. And what, I'm gonna get it packaged up tomorrow? That's not anywhere close to 3 to 4 weeks. But that's good because I do also have a second custom order lined up, and that one came in just like a couple days after this one, but is clearly gonna take a lot longer since I have not started it yet. And so that timeline is definitely to take into consideration me having multiple custom orders. And if I don't think I'll be able to very comfortably get something done in that timeline with all my other orders based on my current queue, I'll close my custom orders. I never like to put too much pressure on myself. Because like I said, I sometimes I get in the mood and I have phases and weeks where I just don't feel like knitting a lot. And I think I'm in one of those right now. Or maybe it's just because, I don't know why. It's because I had to deal with the giveaway and the email marketing stuff and all that, and so I got into computer work. And now my brain's still on computer work. And back to our conversation of not being able to do everything perfectly 100% of the time. Another thing that I did work on this weekend, though, is changing my entire branding and color palette so that it's entirely accessible. Like, based on, like, color contrast stuff. Which is kind of stressful, because my old pink basically was like, you probably shouldn't use this on light or dark backgrounds. I'm like, huh? I like it on light and dark backgrounds, but yeah, so I worked really hard on picking some new colors that I can use in combination with each other that fit contrasting standards for stuff. So that's me taking another step in the right direction. It's really interesting. You never thought about that being a thing before? Yeah. Yeah. That was such a sad response, but yeah. I don't know what I saw that made me think about it. I think it was because I made like a new background for like my YouTube banner, and then I put my pink Positively Cozy logo on top of it, and I thought it looked really good. But also I was like, are these colors too close together? And then I think I saw something online about checking my color palette for accessibility. And it's like, oh yeah, I should look at that. And it's like, yeah, don't do this. Don't use this color. And I was like, okay. But it's fine. I picked some new pinks. And then I also picked some teals that pair really well together and some purples that pair really well together. So I think there's going to be more purple representation now. I picked some purples that, my new purples and teals I think they look really nice together, but then they also meet the contrast standards, so that I can use the dark teal on the light teal or the light teal on the dark teal, and the same with the purples. And that's kind of fun. See, I'm slowly working on changing some color stuff. A lot of people probably aren't even going to notice. It's like, it is different, but like, I'm the main person that is going to notice that it's using a slightly different pink and teal and blue and purple and stuff. But like I said, it is a step I can take in the right direction. So, and I feel good knowing that it's more accessible for contrast reasons. And I didn't really change things too much, so I don't I'm not super worried about getting, like, new business cards, new banners, new everything. I've always, with branding stuff, just slowly tweak things over time that until it's like a slow merging of all of my past branding to all of my current branding. Like, I just bought a new long and wide banner for my Artist Alley display, but then I also had a table runner, and they have technically different fonts in the logos, but I don't really care. I still used both. And the way I've honestly done, like, my branding and stuff, it's been such small changes over time that they kind of go together. And so it's not, like, a big, stark rebranding or anything. And, and that makes a really complicated conversation of, so let's say I made the decision to have my brand colors be more accessible. So then what if I were to go buy all new banners and business cards? Like, is that worse for the environment, but it's better for accessibility? Like, you can't win everywhere all of the time. Like, in my case, I think I'm doing it's best case scenario in both of those situations, because I am making my website and stuff more accessible, and I'm not buying new branding because I don't care enough and it's not a big enough change that it doesn't matter. But it's like one of those things where it's like if you do one thing good, you might be doing another thing worse, or vice versa, and it's just like, so many things all of the time. A little bit of everything all of the time. Apathy is a tragedy, and boredom is a crime. Anyway. Knitting! Oh hey, this is one of my brand songs that I've been using in my YouTube videos and stuff. I recognize this one. Oh yeah, it's that time of the year where I am doing my Final Destination marathon. So that's fun. We watched the first one Saturday. Watched the second one last night. And then maybe I can bully my husband into watching the third one with me tonight. The third one's my favorite. Also, Mom, do you remember how old I was when I first watched those? Because we were talking about that, and we were trying to figure out if I had seen the first movie before I went on a plane. And I remember being, like, really young. But I also remember you, like, giving me, like, a big, like, talk and disclosure about it before we actually watched it. To, like, helped me decide if I felt ready to watch it, which I thought was good. I don't know. Because my husband was like, I think you were over 10? Maybe. Maybe it was, like, between the 2 times we flew. That might be it. Or maybe I'm just thinking about, I definitely watched the third one, like, the night before going to the theme park. I was definitely older for that, though. Because my husband would ask me, like, are you never going to want to fly again after seeing these? As if I hadn't seen them many times since before we flew to Vegas, but yeah, it's like, no. It makes it funnier. It's like a little worm. Especially in pink. Pink worm. Is it a long enough worm? Not yet. We'll do 2 more rows. Part of me wants to squeeze in some more Halloween makes for whenever my next shop update is, but I'm also kind of getting excited to make some more winter beanies, even though they don't sell well. I kind of want to do it anyway because they're cute. I really need to figure out when I'm actually going to be doing my shop update, because I said I was going to do it at the end of this month, but the end of this month is like this week, and I'm not prepared. So it might be the beginning of August. I need to figure out what my ready to ship deadline needs to be for Halloween stuff, and then maybe I'll use that as my guideline for when I do my shop update. Maybe I can be like, here's my shop update, order by the end of the week to get it in time for Halloween. But also I know people like stuff early. I like stuff early at least, especially for Halloween, because it's like, Halloween starts now. But that's what my custom orders are for, I guess. My custom orders are open. Although, my custom orders might not ship much faster either. I'll probably still aim for the first week of October, I think. I wanted to make another pumpkin spice skeleton set, but we'll see how fast I get through this next custom order and if I get any more. If I don't get any more, I'll probably try to squeeze in the pumpkin set if I get the cacturn one done in a reasonable time. But again, like I said, I haven't really been in a knitting mood. Although, I have already made the pumpkin spice skeleton set before, which means I already have product photos for it. Which means, if I knit it the exact same way, I can still take photos and everything and get the shop update ready and have that be included and have all the other stuff done early and then just make the pumpkin spice latte set closer to when that launches without needing to do all the product photography stuff. That would be smart of me to do. Because I'm like holding off on taking pictures and everything until I have everything that I want to sell made. Makes sense, right? But with the pumpkin spice set, I already have the pictures of it, so... Thanks for letting me brainstorm out loud. Maybe I will this week work on getting pictures of everything that I already have. I've got like 2 skeleton sets and like some chonky beanies, so it's not a lot. But if I throw in a 3rd set of the pumpkin spice, that's probably enough. Maybe my mom can make a candy corn shark. Like one that I already have pictures of so that I also don't have to take new pictures of that. Maybe. Uh-oh. I'm able to verify. Please, let me slide my puzzle. I didn't touch my screen enough. TikTok should know that I'm sitting here knitting. I'm not going to be touching my screen while I'm knitting. I'm surprised TikTok can't figure out that I'm, like, sitting here moving and talking. Makes me confirm that I'm still live. Of course I'm still live. Not for much longer though. Once I finish this bow, I'm gonna pop off. Where? Alright, let's put this not in that. There we go. Rawr. It looks like an alligator. That's why it's called an alligator clip. I assume. If that's not why it's called an alligator clip, well then I disagree. I think it's called that because it looks like an alligator. Oh yeah, we were watching Final Destination 2, and my husband pulled up that the main actress in that is JJ from Criminal Minds, and I determined my feelings on that is that yes, I believe you. That is the same actress that plays JJ on Criminal Minds. However, I disagree. That is not JJ. I disagree. That's not the same person. I believe that it's true, but no, I disagree. I always forget. Like, this happens every time I watch Final Destination 2. And I'm like, no. Oh, but the coroner and that, like the spooky guy, he is also in The Rock, which we watched recently, and he has like one of my husband's favorite lines in The Rock, that he thinks is really funny. So it's kind of funny that he's also in Final Destination. I hope Final Destination 6 actually comes out. I don't know if it's going to. I think I heard about that being a thing, and I would love to go see it. I don't care how bad it is. If I was concerned about the quality of the movies, I would not probably be watching Final Destination at all. You know, add The Rock to my movie list? Yeah, you do. It's really good. I always forget how much I love it until I'm watching it, and it's like, yeah, this is a good movie. Okay, we did it. I made the bow. I've got the gloves. Here, let me stick the bow in the hat here so that you can get the full picture. Look at how cute this is. Hold the hat up right. That's so cute. The bow and the paws really tie it together. Just me making my little thumbnail that I'll use for my YouTube video. That's so cute. Cool. Another custom order done. Thank you for letting me ramble a lot about... Oh no, I'm leaving. Hello. Hi. Bad timing, but I'm glad you stopped by even for just a second. But yeah, just got the set done, so I'm gonna boogie. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.